It's me. I have gone live a little bit early. The reason I've gone live a little bit early is because I've broken down. My car's overheating. I've called out the RAC. Lucky enough, I drove the car into a car park, and it was struggling to get in there. So what we was aiming to do, right? All good plans. And again, it's Janet's fault, right? All good plans go completely pear-shaped. So what's happened is, for some reason, my Starlink is at home has completely gone bang, right? When I say bang, I mean bang, bang. Right? It don't work, nothing. Gets on there last night. I've got one bar at 4G on my mobile, talking to AI on Starlink support. They've gone through a load of things, right? And they've basically said, hello from St Helens, Lancashire, evening and 5v5DD. The basis of it is AI come back and said, we're not seeing your Starlink, we're not seeing your router, we're not seeing anything. Go through this. I went all through these procedures, which I'd already done, but I did them again. And they said, no, for some reason your system is completely kaput, right? I think that's very strange. But cut long story short, what did they actually do? They ordered me a complete new whole package, a Starlink dish, a new router, version 4 or whatever it's called, router 4 or whatever it is, and it's now currently making its way to me. Problem I've got is I've still got to go on the roof and change the dish over. So there's some other things going on in the background with that. But so what we decided to do, I was persuaded by Janet, that it would be really fantastic if we could go to the moors and see the eclipse, right? So me being a wonderful hubby, said, go on in, let's be fun. We're going to do that. Gets in the car, checks my car for water, and that just occasionally I do check it. Needed a bit of water. Pulls away on our way to the moors, which is only 20 minutes away from where we live, right? In fact, we'd had nothing to eat, all right? And what we was actually doing was waiting to go to Burger King, right? Well, it turns out, on the way, needle on the car overheating all the way over like that, right? Went worse than hot. It was hot, right? So we pulled over, set up in a pub and in a car park called the RAC. So I'm now waiting for the RAC. I'm hungry, sitting it, but I've got to be honest with you, at least we were sitting outside when the eclipse happened. Janet was all excited about the eclipse. It was getting darker and darker and darker. You could feel the temperature drop. And that was it. And then it started getting lighter and lighter and lighter, right? I got attacked by a moth when I was sitting here, because the only thing that really get the proper ump during an eclipse are moths, right? Because they've got nothing to go and fly against, right? So it decided to attack my neck instead. So Janet obviously is very disappointed, right? I said, well, we could go and look at the next one in 2090. That's a full eclipse. But we both, didn't we? We both watched the last one in 1999, and it was a full eclipse in Devon and Cornwall. Actually, parts of Devon was even better, right? Because it completely went out. Someone pushed the light out for about 2 minutes. Right, so just to let you know, because last night obviously I had a bit of a problem with Starlink going down in an inappropriate moment. I just went completely stopped. And where I live, that's it. There's no signal. There's no phone signal. There's nothing, right? So we did eventually tell a few people that it wouldn't be live last night. So I thought I'd let you know what's going on, basically. So it will be a bit hackney all over the place until I get the new Starlink delivered. I can tell everyone this, right? A few days ago, I ordered a washing machine because we haven't got a washing machine. We've got no room for a washing machine, and because we're looking at getting a caravan, right? Or we don't know where we're going to be because of what's going on, right? But I've done some research on washing machines, and it turns out there's a washing machine that is designed for small places, small whatever, right? And it is tiny, right? It's one of them ones where you lift the lid up. Is it a top loader? Right? You put all this in. Anyway, that was delivered today. It was only, when I say only, about 160 quid. Brand spanking new. I think it's got a 5-year warranty with it, right? All these programs, really simple to fit and all that. So that turns up today, right? I swear to God, I've never seen a female look so fucking happy. I was like, it's a fucking washing machine. But I said, you do realise this means that we can't go on washing dates because we used to sit in a petrol garage looking at the machines like that, sitting there eating our sandwiches, ice creams, and having a chat for 3 hours, right? But then it costs you money to get there. I think the washes was coming roughly to 40 quid every time we went because you wash everything at the same time. So it's about 40 quid. And you could turn up and a washing machine was covered in inside was covered in dog's hairs or whatever. Sometimes it weren't nice. Or you could turn up there and it's being used, right? And then you have to drive to another one, and it's being used, right? Or all of them things. So anyway, we've got this little tiny washing machine. So we rigged it all, got it out of its packaging, rigged it all up. Janet's like, oh, the washing machine. I couldn't believe it, right? She said to me, you know how to make a girl happy? I'm like, fucking washing machine, right? So we got this tiny little washing machine. It's not that big. It's about, I don't know, let me see if I can get it on the screen, about that wide, right? It's not very tall. But it's got a pump thing in it. It's programmable, so you just put it in. You put it on the tap. It fills with water. It heats the water. You just set it up, and it just runs. And then you just put the washing powder in it and all that. Got to be honest with you, right? Done a wash of a load of tea towels first, just to set one. They was really horrible, and needed a proper thing, wash and everything. Janet done them. They was the absolute nuts. They come out like brand new. Yeah. We're like, this ain't too bad, is it? So then we've left it where it was. And Janet filled it up with another of those. So press the button. Well, it starts going. Let me tell you now. It was made for caravans, right? What's it called? Who? No, not an Arvo. I'd have to go on that. Oh, let me show. Marvelous, though. I'll tell you what. I'll recommend it to anyone. It is that quiet, right? This is the odd thing. It is that quiet. You could do a show, right? Let me see if I can bring it up on the screen. And don't forget, this laptop ain't powered on, so I can't really go a long time doing this. Let me see if I can orders. Where was it? Oh, there it is. It is called. Let's see if I can actually bring up what it's called. Hang on a minute. It's called a Haver portable washer. I'll put it out there, but I'm just telling everyone, right? It is the nuts. And I was also watching to see how much electricity is using. It was hardly using anything. Not sure if I can actually bring it up on the screen on here. But if there's anyone interested, I'll put it up there. Right, there it is there. It's called a Hava portable washer, 3 kilo capacity, mini washing machine, spin dryer, and spin dryer. But it doesn't dry it. Not really dry, it's a spinner, isn't it?
Dry, it just spins, but it spins brilliant.
Yeah, no. The stuff comes out like it's damp, slightly damp, and you can put it on an extra spin if you wanted to. But just, I don't want to keep. It's not that I'm really excited, but a washing machine. So I've lived there for a year without a washing machine. Janet is over the moon with this thing. Right? Do you know what I mean? It's like a new toy. It's got 6 settings. It's got different water settings. But it's one of them. This might sound odd to people, right? But when you go and do your washing, or if you've got a normal washing machine, right, that they've got, that technically they're a pain in the arse, right? Because you don't use them that often. Well, you do, but not. But this is a key point, right? Once you put something in a wash, when you forget something, you think, oh, should have gone in that washing. You got it right. This thing, you can open it up. It will stop the program, and you can throw something else in there and shut it down, and it just carries on. Right. So I thought it was really good. I was outside for the eclipse, and for the first time in a week, clouds throughout. Sharing is caring. Yeah, no, we just see the eclipse. Janet is highly disappointed. So just to say that Janet was so looking forward for a whole week, maybe 2 weeks. She's been talking about this eclipse. Can we go to the moors? Can we go and do a show on the moors? The fucking car broke down on the way, so we're just driving up to the moors to do the show from the moors, right? And then I would have been live, and it would have gone dark, and then got light again, right? And now I'm sitting in a beer garden being attacked by wasps, right? And the car broke down. And the other night, Janet went to me, "You're going to have to stop talking nicely about that car." I said, "Why?" She went, "'Cause something's bound to happen." It broke down. So anyway, massively overheated. So I'm sitting here waiting for the RAC, whatever time the RAC get here, which is another reason why I have to keep on my phone. Let's have a look. It was quite funny. We'll call you on our way. I don't know if they're on their way yet. We'll call you on our way to make sure we have the right info. Please keep your phone to hand. We must be able to reach you. When was that sent? Let me have a quick look. Arrival still estimated. Anyway, they're still on their way to us. So we've ordered some more banners for we need to be advertising as much as possible. It may be that we need a really good. I think they've already got one, but we need to be promoting as much as possible the Western Supermare seminar. I'm pleased in a way. John Aspinall, water pump, maybe DD. Do you know something? I've got a funny feeling, John Aspinall, that it is the water pump. I've got a funny feeling it is a water pump. Could be a hose or something, but I don't think it's a hose. I do think it's a water pump. The last 3 or 4 times I've pulled up in a car, there's been a puddle underneath the front of the car. At first, I thought that's sort of semi-normal because of the heat we've got. Because I've been having the air conditioner on the car, and you get the condensation and a continuous dripping. But this was a bit more, and it was fun, and it was a funny staining. But I checked my power steering fluid, I checked my brake fluid, I checked, and then I looked and thought, I'll tell you what, just have a look at the thing before I pulled away tonight. And I pulled it open, and it was empty. I put about 2 litres of water into it, right? And then put it back on, and then drove up. And I think that's why I think it could be the water pump. I don't think they're going to be able to fix that at the roadside. Tell me if I'm wrong. It's a Ford Mondeo 1.8 LX. And Neil fix hello Patriot, Chuck Money. But anyway, so there are the positive news is the eclipse has been and gone. The more positive news is we won't see another one till 64 years' time. And Janet has reliably informed me I'll be dead by then. Right, yeah, I've got to tell you something else. Like, so we're trying to sort out the show last night, and I said the only way I can think of doing it is if I go back and get my mobile mini out of the car and then connect it to the and then I'll put it out just on the roof outside, right? No, I said I'll go and get my mobile mini, right? So it's a mini satellite. And Janet went, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea." Then she went to me, "Has it got to go outside?" I was like, "Fucking hell, that's a." And then I've gone like that. And she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing a nil." She, "What do you mean you're doing a nil?" I said, "Tracy Tourism's nil." And then Janet's sitting there laughing, right? She said, "But I don't understand technology." I said, "No, satellite is outside. You need a satellite dish has to be outside to see the satellite. It can't be sitting in here, can it?" Right? And I tell you what, she's sitting there, like, she's giggling, right? But when I say I was laughing
About 2 hours.
for about 2 hours from that one crack, and I said, "I'm not laughing at you, honestly." I said, "It's so funny that has really made my day," right? And anyway, there you go. So, yeah. So Tracy Tourism, Janet's as blonde as you sometimes. And I kept saying to people, right? I'm not even going to go there, right? You're trying to have a serious conversation. How do we bring this in? And I reminded Janet. I said, when I was about 6 or 7, my dad's car broke down. A bit apt tonight, isn't it? And there was all these like men looking at the car. There was my brother-in-law, my brother, like my dad, someone else, the next door neighbour, all looking under the bonnet. It was a full Cortina Mark II, 1600E, right? And it wouldn't start. So me being a 6-year-old stood there and went, "Is it the suspension?" You know when they all look at you same time. But I think they was impressed because I retained the word suspension at 6 or 7 years old. And anyway, my daughter used to be able to say helicopter when she was 3. PS1, howdy. Good evening, everyone. So anyway, we've had this eclipse. Janet was not very impressed by nature. Considering that was a 96% eclipse, though, it didn't get that dark, but it did get dark, though, didn't it?
It got darker, but not.
The temperature did drop.
Temperature dropped, yeah, definitely.
And the moths started getting the hump.
And the moths started attacking you.
And the moths started attacking me. And the birds stopped singing.
They did.
So there you go. I've just seen a 7.5 kilo top loader for caravans, £150. Amazing. Yeah, no, there's quite a few different ones about. The one I've got was supposedly the most reliable and the quietest. What we done? So that washer, I can tell you now. I had to keep saying to Janet, "Is it actually working?" She went, "Yeah, it's washing." Right, and then when it done a spin, you didn't even hear it. You could have the show on, right, with the mic on, and I guarantee it was less quiet. It was quieter, I should say, than boiling a kettle. That's how quiet it is. And the laundry comes out really good. So when you consider it cost me roughly £40 a month to go and use the ones in, and then you've got to drive there, and then you've got ag, can't get there. The only thing that I've got to look at now would potentially be a dryer for the winter, unless you was to do all your washing and then just go and use their dryer, but then you've got the same problem again. But yeah, no, it was the nuts. I did mine last week. Who said that?
I must admit, I totally forgot about that.
Evening, day, and everybody. So there's loads of things going on. There's some, again, Jason from the United States of America. I'll have to have you on a show again shortly to talk about some of these cases in America. I've been having some conversations with people, and I am firmly of the belief that if you think of a scale, right, so out like that, right, coming in or out like the scale went pear shaped because everything moved so far to the left. There was no real middle ground, and there certainly wasn't any right on the scale. And I'm not talking about ideologically, I'm talking about no rule of law. That is what my scale is. And it went so badly to the left that we're living in a communist country. That is what we're living on, because and it even though we're starting to feel it now, it gets a lot worse. Oh, yeah, go on then. Thanks. We'll have to find out where this Chinese is.
Well, yeah, you know, if you dashboard,
it looks like. So I want to make sure I explain this to people correctly, right? And it's not me being massively. Oh, hang on, I've got to take this call. Stay there. That was the RAC man. He basically said, keep yourself safe in that beer garden. Thank you, fucker. Right? He's in Bude in Cornwall. So with my London head on, I'm thinking, oh, it's not a 7-hour drive to get to me. He said, I should be with you within hopefully 40 minutes to an hour. So he's coming out. But one other guy's already come out. Anyway, he said, if we can't fix it there and then, he said, I'll have a look at it. If I can't fix it there, we may have to get it to a local garage for them to sort it out. I said, all right, whatever. So he's going to look at it. Anyway, just letting you know. What else was I talking about? I think rip off 99% of the time. They just tow you to a garage, never to fix your vehicle. Well, I've got to say, nosy poke, just to let you know this. When I had a problem with this car before, I couldn't get anyone, I couldn't get any mobile mechanics out, couldn't get anyone. And then I remembered that I had RAC cover as part of my insurance. So I rang them up. And I think people on the show remember this. They come out to me about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. The guy looked at it and said, I know what that is. And he said, and this is the weirdest thing. He said, I've got a part in that van that's possibly 20 years old and I've never used it. And he said, I might get a chance to use it. And it was the coil pack. My coil pack, is that the thing?
She's going to bring it out.
Huh?
She's going to bring it out for us.
The coil pack had split, right? So the car was struggling, and if it was wet, it wouldn't start properly and all that, right? So he's got this coil pack out, and he's looked at it, and he's got a really bright light on it, touched it like that. He said, can you see that crack? I said, yeah. He said, that's what's causing the problem. So he put that to one side, and then he hunted all through this van, right? And he found this part. He said, there's two different types, right? He said, I don't know if this is going to be the right one, right? So don't get your hopes up. And he found this part, and he's gone through it, he matched them up. He said, exactly the same part. Put it on, started the car, bang, never been a problem since. So he got me going at the side of the road. He had the part in the motor and just fixed it, right? And he said, we do aim to try and do that, but he said, you can't carry the parts for every car. He said, what I'm more surprised about is your car is 20 years old and I've got the part. He said, when I got my last van, I took it out and thought, I'll bound to use that in the future. Put it in there. And he said, you got it. So it is funny. So it depends, doesn't it? I don't. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. But getting back to this conversation about what's going on in the US. Yeah, it is. What, with plates and all that? Right. So what's happening in America at the moment? There was a particular case heard by the Supreme Court in the US, right? That case was about an FBI raid, right? But people need to understand that you can have different things and it relates to a part of a law. Just because it's to do with the FBI doesn't mean it was an FBI raid, but it relates to warrants and it relates to what they can and can't do. But this particular case, they was arguing, this is important, I want you to listen to this, they was arguing that the FBI and all decisions and decision makers within the FBI are immune to prosecution, right? Because they have federal immunity. Now, what happened was the FBI had got a warrant to go and bust this house and arrest this person, right? The FBI agent had all the paperwork, got everything. They had the arrest warrant. They had the warrant ready to go, search and seize, and arrest the person. The federal agent had put into his sat nav on his phone the address, right? So it takes him to the address. Listen to this. They've put explosives around the front door, blown the front door off, thrown flashbangs into the house, come in with tools like that. the lady and the gentleman was hiding in their cupboard with a shotgun. They didn't know what was going on. There was a 7-year-old child in the house, and then one of the FBI agents picked up a letter from the table in the kitchen, read the address, and said, "This isn't the address. We're at the wrong address," right? So the couple and the baby and a little baby have sued the FBI and said, "You've terrorised us. You out of the blue. This is a normal everyday working family. Out of the blue, you've come in, steamed into us, done all this stuff, right?" And then they turned around and said, "You can't prosecute us because we have federal immunity in the same way as you get crown immunity, right?" Thanks. Well done. You got federal immunity, right? So it goes to court. The first court, the Ninth Circuit, agreed and said they got federal immunity. And then the barrister challenged it to the Supreme Court in the United States of America. This is why it's so important. The Supreme Court are saying, no, so they've done what's known, they're doing something what's known as, we know it in this country as an interlocutory appeal, right? So what they've done is they've gone to the Supreme Court and said, in this situation, you can't have someone who is made that. What they try to do is they've split a decision, right? And they've said if that decision involves incompetence or negligence, right, which this did, you can't say that they've got immunity. A doctor hasn't got immunity, right? Someone has to be held accountable. You can't have federal immunity, right? To that. If someone's made a decision to put an address in a sat nav and the sat nav has took them to the wrong address and they haven't even bothered checking, right, where it is. Don't forget, they've blown the front door off this house. They've thrown flashbangs in. They've gone in with machine guns to arrest these people and they've done nothing wrong. Right, and then they denied that there's any accountability for that, right? Terrorised a 7-year-old kid as well. So the Supreme Court said, no, there has to be accountability for incompetence and not just being incompetence, but if you are in any way negligent in what you've done, there has to be accountability, right? And in this country, the crown can do no wrong, or the king can do no wrong. That is the law of the land, right? Whether we like it or not. But the crown servants can. That's the difference. And what they're trying to argue, what they was trying to argue is no, not even a crown servant or federal agents can do any wrong. The reason why it's so important is because it was a 9-0 Supreme Court ruling that says you are accountable for negligence. And you will be held accountable for this. So it was an interlocutory appeal to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court then knocked that back down to the 9th and said, before you carry on with this trial, you take this judgment into consideration that they can be negligent, and they have to be held accountable for negligence. Right? Why is it important? Because when there's about 5 cases in the Supreme Court in the USA that are currently ticking through the system, each one of them can be used in the UK in the Supreme Court, because Supreme Courts of common law jurisdictions, New Zealand, Canada, Australia, and most of these other places. It's flying low, isn't it? Did that get any lower?
Looks like coming into land.
That was a military airplane that sort of just gave me an haircut.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you have to understand about all of that is these cases are stacking up, and people don't realise it. It doesn't necessarily have to relate to a particular. It's the principle. Remember when I've said you must argue the principle of the law, not just the letter of the law. Why was a law put in place? Why does your right stand, right? And the answer is because we're a common law jurisdiction, we don't have certitude in this country, right? So what happens there is when you see these cases ticking through up there, we can use them. No UK barrister and it would use these. I would, right? We've used a High Court case from New Zealand in this country, which actually referenced the English Bill of Rights and said that this is as much the law here is there. American's Constitution is the first 10 amendments come from England, right? So once you understand that and you understand what's going on, America is the largest common law jurisdiction in the world, bar none. Once they get their positions correct, that's when you can start pulling the chain over here. And you can also use US barristers or lawyers because they have some of them, not all of them, are part of the English bar, right? And the American Bar Association is associated not just in this country but also with Runnymede, right? Once you get all that, you understand that these things are ticking, right? Strategically, you have to think, why are they doing that? Why are they putting these parts of the puzzle in place? Because when it goes, and it's going to go over here soon, right? When it goes, they will start using their own. We're a common law jurisdiction. They have to abide by the law, right? The judges have not been doing that in this country, and they're going to get a slapped arse. Does everyone understand what I just said? Jason probably gets it more than anyone because he's lives in Alaska and he comes from Florida and he understands how that system works. And I will on the show when my Starlink is and I've got the studio back, I will go through the links not only from the Constitution but how these things link into us, right? There's other things going on at the moment in the US that you've got to be highly tuned into. And once you tune into that, you'll see that there is something going on. That's it. I am now going to say good night, God bless, and don't forget the Constitution is the solution. I am off because I'm waiting to get some munchies.
Lovely.
Is it nice? Janet is sitting next to me with nice smelly food. Right, that's it. So hopefully I'm going to try and get my mini Starlink set up where I am, but I don't think I can get a full thing from where I am there. But there you go. Anyone? So we need to promote Western Supermare. We've ordered some more banners that go up so I can explain all of these elements of the law. Tonight's show was going to be referencing what the Housebury Laws of England state about our constitution, right? So that is the law. They can't go against it. But they are. And what we've got to do is kick them back. That's it. Au revoir, good night, and God bless.